Hi friends, welcome to or welcome back to the channel Jane Reads. My name is Jeanette and today is Monday, August the 17th, and I just want to start the weekly vlog that I do with what am I currently reading. It is Monday evening and I was just going to sit down to read, which is what, I need to kick off the vlog first. So today was a work day. I don't know. I'm feeling emotional and stressed today. I came home from work and took a nap. We had supper. And as I said, I was going to sit down to read. So my audiobook is What I Left for You by Liz Tolsma. This is book 3 in the Echoes of the Past series. I am about 65%, I think is what my audiobook says. I'm just getting ready to start chapter 30. I'm enjoying it, but I'm definitely more connected to the present day timeline with McKenna and her best friend Taylor than I am with the World War II timeline with Helena. Yet Helena has gone through some horrific stuff and we're like with her through it. So I should be more connected to her. Like I'm feeling for her, but I'm more interested in McKenna and the present day timeline. So we will see. And this is set in Poland. McKenna and Taylor are now in Poland looking for information about McKenna's family. And I'm pretty sure Helena is McKenna's family and this is taking place in Poland. So we will see. But that is what my audiobook is. And then physically, I am reading Brighter Than Before by Courtney Walsh. And I just sent a text to our Read Happy chat for the co-host and saying, I'm really hoping this title comes to life for me, that once I get to reading, I will feel brighter than before. So this is a rom-com. We are following Claire, who is a recently divorced woman. Husband cheated on her. She has now moved to Chicago to kind of start a new life. She is looking at working on a new job. She has met a guy, but they're just friends. And the guy is helping her with a dating app that Claire's daughter installed on her phone, and so they're talking about dating and stuff, but like other people rather not each other. So we'll see. I'm really enjoying it. Claire has definitely embarrassed herself quite a few times throughout the story, but I'm really enjoying like the friends she's made and kind of putting herself out there. And by doing something, like I don't mean putting yourself out there in the dating wise, but just like sitting with a stranger in a food court has led to a really good friendship. And so I really like that. So I am on chapter 26, page 249, and there's only 330-ish pages, so I'm hoping to finish this tonight. We will see, which is why I had to check in. Okay, so that is my check-in for now, and as I said, I'm going to sit down and read Brighter Than Before. Well, it is Tuesday after work now, and I don't have to work tomorrow. Nice day off during the middle of the week, using loo time. So last night I finished Brighter Than Before by Courtney Walsh. I really enjoyed this. I really liked Claire kind of rediscovering herself, finding a fresh start after a horrible breakup. And then we've got Miles, who also experienced a really bad breakup, and his approach to life is very different. Like he's very open in what he does, being around people, but very closed off for romantic relationship. And I just really enjoyed these two, the interactions together. And near the end, I marked a bunch of quotes. So I'm going to share them with you. And this is told mainly in first person from Claire's perspective. And so she's talking to someone and says, I suppose that's how life goes, though. It's not all peaks and it's not all valleys, not all joy or sadness. It's everything all at once, sometimes in drips and sometimes in waves. And the next one is, I want to look at the beautiful things life has brought me and not focus on what it has cost me. I want to learn from the past without letting it destroy me, to focus instead on all the good that is coming my way. And the last one. So no matter where you are in your journey, if you feel like you're too old or too young or too unqualified or too whatever, just know that the only thing stopping you from changing your life is you. I really, really enjoyed that. This was a fun read. There were some really embarrassing moments for Claire throughout that were really funny because they weren't happening to me. Wow, I would have been horrified if I was her. But the way that she overcomes them and the way that her new friends kind of surround her and make her feel family and important, I really like that. Like, she found the best friends. So this is a 4.5 star for me. I wish it had more faith in it. There's very little. It is a Thomas Nelson after all, but the 5, if there was faith about like finding your hope in Jesus and stuff, would have really brought it up. But yeah, this was really enjoyable. And now it is time to return to a suspense read for the Keep Me in Suspense readathon. So I have 2 that I could start. I have Trail of Mountain Secrets by Darlene L. Turner, or I have Everywhere to Hide by Siri Mitchell. And I'm going to let Andrew choose which one I start. Andrew?
Yes.
Which one do I start next?
Everywhere to Hide.
Because he likes to hide?
I like hide and seek.
Okay, well, this is the one that I've said for a while I was going to start, and then it keeps getting pushed by something else, so there you go. I'm going to start Everywhere to Hide. How does a woman protect herself from an enemy she can't see? So that is what I will start next.
She buys a very big dog.
To protect herself from an enemy she can't see?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We're not buying a dog.
No?
No.
Will you let me buy fish?
Yes.
Okay. Remember, we got that on tape.
And I am continuing in my audiobook, What I Left for You by Liz Tolsma. I am at 79%. No, 73%. Somewhere around there. 70-something%. I've made it to chapter 33, anyways, and we're getting to the end of World War II. So we will see what happens. But now it is a beautiful day outside, and I have... What do I have in the slow cooker? Some sort of pork. Honey Dijon pork and green beans are in the slow cooker. And they have to cook for another hour or so. So I'm going to go sit and enjoy the sunshine. Pork, green beans, stuffing, mashed potatoes. Well, it is Wednesday now, and during sprints last night, I read quite a bit of Everywhere to Hide, and I've made it to page 118, chapter, I just looked at it and I don't remember, chapter 19, and we're following Whitney, who has just finished law school, is studying to take the bar exam, and meanwhile she's working at a coffee shop and tutoring as 2 jobs. As she's leaving work one day, she comes across a dead body and possibly witnesses or sees the killer. But she deals with facial blindness, so she cannot identify the killer. And the detective that she's working with says, like, most likely, like, they've run far away, they're not going to worry about you. But then things start happening. And because she has facial blindness, she can't tell if somebody is following her or if it's just somebody happens to be on the street. This is taking place in Arlington, Virginia. Very busy. She rents a scooter to get places or rides the metro or takes an Uber and stuff. But it seems very mundane a little bit. Like, I was really into it. at that beginning and try to fight. But then it kind of slowed down a bit, and I'm just like, I don't care that much. But then something happened, and Whitney's first reaction is, what about my plants? And then she tries to save her plants. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's your first reaction? Really? I don't relate to you at all. And this is being told in first person, which is kind of throwing me off a little bit, which is weird because the contemporary romance I just finished was told in first person and I loved it. But I don't know. So I'm going to keep reading and we will see, because I am interested to see kind of where it's going to go. But yeah, so that is my physical read. And then I listened a bit more in What I Left for You by Liz Tolsma this morning. I have now made it to 85%, chapter 39, so almost there. Maybe I'll finish this today. We will see. So I'm still really connected more to the contemporary timeline than the historical. I'm liking the historical, but like I'm feeling for Helena and everything she's gone through. Like every time it kind of looks positive, something happens and she's thrown again and horrible, but we will see. So this morning I have the day off and Andrew took my car to work because his car is in the shop. So I can't leave the house, which I didn't plan on leaving the house, which is why he took my car to work. But I was getting ready to film my TBR video and I printed my list of books on my Kindle. And then I was checking my physical account and my physical account didn't match. And I was like, what? It was off by 2 books. And I'm like, what? That doesn't make sense. And it really should have evened itself out now that I think about it, so I don't know why. Because I did not have Tuck Everlasting on my TBR list because it was one that was thrown into an book outlet order. I hadn't ordered it. I really have no interest in reading it, but everybody keeps telling me that I should, so I didn't actually have it on my list, so I've added it now. And then Everywhere to Hide was still showing up on my list, even though I'm reading it, but it's not like on my shelf, so it didn't work when I counted. So, I mean, I had this one on my shelf that wasn't on my list, and I had this one on my list that wasn't on my shelf. So it should have evened itself out. I don't know why it wasn't magic, but at least I figured out what the issue was. So, yeah, so now I am going to film that video, and then I'm going to get lunch. That will be my reward for getting the video filmed. Well, I got the video filmed. I have eaten lunch and I watched some YouTube while I was eating lunch. And now I'm going to go out to the deck and sit and read for a little bit, Everywhere to Hide, before Andrew gets home. And the sky is looking a little iffy. The clouds are kind of dark, but it's not supposed to rain and the sun's shining. So I'm going to take advantage of that. And then I can work on editing and stuff later when, it's dark outside and I'm going to be inside anyways. So that is what I'm going to do right now. So it is Wednesday evening now. After I read on the deck for a little bit, I came in. Andrew came home from work, but then he had to go pick up his car from the mechanic. And so I was able to listen to What I Left for You by Liz Tolsma while he was gone. And I finished it. I was so excited to finish another book, basically. And it completes a series. And it is a series that I have binged this year. So that is working towards a goal. So for this book in particular, it is not my favorite of the series. Now, this is not a series you need to read in order. You can just pick up whichever. They're more just companions. So dual timeline, Poland, World War II, we're following Helena and kind of like the horrific stuff that she has been through. And we're learning about the Lemke people. I didn't really know anything about them going into this book, and then hearing like the way they were treated. It was almost as bad as how Jews were treated through the war. She ends up at a concentration camp and a work camp, and then they get released and then get to go back to her home, but then they get misplaced again. And just, oh my gosh, like the things she went through. Then in the present day timeline, we have McKenna, who is a social worker and needs to take a break from her job because of a horrible situation that has happened, just very stressful. And so she gets her DNA tested and she goes to Poland with her best friend to try to find her grandmother's sister that her grandmother's mom, so McKenna's great-grandmother, always talked about or made a reference to, but never really told anything about it. So like, was there a sister or not? And so McKenna is on the journey to try to figure that out, and what did the great-grandmother go through. I really connected with McKenna and what was going on with her and the relationship with her and Taylor, just the friendship and the support, but also like kind of the teasing. I really liked that. I struggled a bit just connecting with Helena. I don't know why. Like, I felt for her because she's definitely gone through a lot of hardship. She takes in a friend's baby, gets married for convenience. And then kind of her second marriage also seems to be for convenience, but then like leads to love. And I just like, they're normally stuff I really like. I think part of it is because we're going from 1943 to 1949 in the historical timeline, whereas the present day timeline covers about a 4-month period rather than years. So it just was easier to connect to McKenna because you weren't missing a whole bunch. So yeah, this is a 4-star read for me because I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. As I said, I'd never heard of the Lemke people. I was like, how do I say that again? And how like they have their own language, and these come from like a really poor region, and it's unusual for somebody from that region to be highly educated, and somebody from that region ends up becoming a university professor, and the way it all kind of works out and the way the two stories connect in the end, I really enjoyed that. So yeah, it's a 4-star read for me. Then this evening after supper, I was reading more in Everywhere to Hide. I have now made it to page 202, chapter 32. So I'm like over halfway, and I'm starting to really get invested in this. I'm really liking Whitney and the detective Leo, and how Leo is just there for her and she doesn't even have to ask him. He's just there and does it. I just really like that. There has been a situation that just happened to Whitney that I really don't like. And like, really? Like, how can you do that to somebody? Like, the people that did this to her, I expect Leo's gonna find out and make it right, or at least help in some way, but he doesn't know yet. So we will see. So I can't wait to keep reading. Like, I am hooked now. However, this evening I'm going to work on editing the video I filmed this afternoon, or at least start it, because I want to post it Saturday. So I want to at least get the editing started. I'm going to make myself write at least 3 reviews, maybe 4 reviews, 6 reviews. I don't know. I keep increasing the number. I'm gonna write at least 4 reviews on Goodreads. They're in my reading journal, so I just need to get them posted on Goodreads. I also have Lucy Sprints on my computer, and I have a show jumping event on the TV that I'm watching. I'm a big multitasker. And it's more kind of background noise on some other stuff, but I mean, while I'm editing, I won't have the background noise, but while I'm writing the reviews and stuff, I can have the background noise. So that is my plan for this evening. So I'm getting ready to head off to bed now, but I just wanted to let you know I got 6 reviews written tonight. I still have 11 that I need to post. I told you I was a bit behind. I did not get any reading done, but I also got my video half filmed. I've got the part with all the physical book covers filmed or edited. Now I just need to add all my Kindle book covers. So that's going to take a lot longer because it's adding a bunch of covers. But yeah, so it's been a very productive evening, but now I want to go read a couple chapters before I head to bed. It is Thursday after work, and today, oh my gosh, I thought we had all the computer issues solved on Tuesday when I left. I went in this morning, nothing's working. I can get my password to log into the computer, but then I can't use any of the programs. It's not working. So I call our IT support, they remote in, and they install and uninstall, install, uninstall. Finally, I think like a couple hours later, maybe 3 hours later, it's finally working. So while I was waiting for them, I'm kind of watching them do their thing because I had to do the two-step on my phone every once in a while for them. I tested highlighters and permanent markers and some pens and updated the wall calendar, like all the like miscellaneous, and it's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. If I hadn't been like waiting and talking to them, I could have listened to my book, but that didn't work. But I did start a new book this morning, and that is When the Day... No, it's not. Is The Day the World Came to Town, 9/11 in Gander, Newfoundland, by Jim DeFede. DeFede? How did the narrator say it? I can't remember now. And I am 12% into this, just working on chapter 4 now. So now, like, the attacks in New York have happened at this point, and it's like, how is Gander responding to this? Is kind of right where we are. But as I was getting ready to put my bookmark in, which I realized I didn't bring a bookmark up with me, so I just grabbed it from a different book that I hadn't actually started. And it is set in Canada. It was the one I grabbed. And I'm like, that was one of my prompts for my game. But I chose this book that I was going to borrow from a friend instead of this book. And I'm like, I could have totally put this one in the spot. But it just worked out that my hold for the audiobook came in, and I'd had it on hold for a couple months. And it came in, so that's why I started it. And I'm like, I could have officially put this on my TBR, but that's okay. I mean, I'm reading it, so it doesn't matter. And I noticed that there are little pictures at the beginning of every chapter. So that was like the Gander Airport. The other chapter was like the Brooklyn's Rescue Squad and like a guy. So there's a couple different ones. So we will see what happens there. But Andrew is off at a massage appointment this afternoon. So I am going to take advantage of the quiet house and film a video upstairs rather than downstairs in front of my bookshelves where I normally film. And then he's going to pick up supper on his way home because his massage place there, restaurant's there. So yay. Plus, who knows what time he'll be done. So I'm not working on making supper because you never really know. So that is going to be the plan. Well, it is now 10:30 and I have not physically read yet today. So I am leaving my desk area and going to read a bit. But I don't think I will finish Everywhere to Hide tonight. So I did get my video filmed that I wanted to get done while Andrew was out. So I did get that done. Then we had supper and then we chatted and dealt with some family stuff. And then he went to bed and I've been working on editing my own TBR video. So that took a while because I had to add a bunch of Kindle book covers. It is now exporting, so I'm going to leave the desk and go read while it's doing that because I can finish it tomorrow and get it scheduled for Saturday. No big deal. So yeah, that has been my evening. So that is what I'm going to do. Well, it is Friday afternoon after work, and I'm just heading to go get a haircut. Well, I didn't do great of checking in yesterday. It is now Saturday afternoon. And yesterday after work, I went and got my hair cut, came home, we had supper, worked on getting Saturday's video finalized. And then I read a bit, watched a bunch of YouTube, watched some House Hunters. And I did finish Everywhere to Hide by Siri Mitchell, but I was like, I'm not coming on. Like last night, I wasn't coming on to tell you about it. And then I thought, well, I could do it this morning. And then I woke up this morning and allergies were so bad. It was like, oh my gosh, will my nose please stop running and will I stop sneezing? I have taken some Claritin. I've had lunch now. We've got a load of laundry in the washer. Or actually, it's in the dryer now. But yeah, so it's been a good Saturday so far. Not overly, take your time doing things. And I thought, okay, now I will update you my thoughts on Everywhere to Hide. And I will scratch the card for this because it's a 26 and 26 book. And it is number 25 of my 26. Yay! You'll see the board in a minute. Okay, Everywhere to Hide by Siri Mitchell. So this is a romantic suspense. We are following Whitney, who is a young lady, recently finished college, is getting ready to take the bar exam. She is working at a coffee shop and tutors at the local library for people studying for their SATs and the other one, ACTs? I don't know. Not American, never taken them, don't know. Yeah. And Whitney comes across a dead body, possibly sees the shooter, but she is dealing with facial blindness, has had it all her life, and didn't know, can't identify what the shooter looks like. And so we are getting to know her and following her through that. Detective Leo becomes the prime detective assigned to the case, the primary detective assigned to the case initially. Then as things develop, the case gets taken over by the FBI. And then Leo and Whitney's relationship kind of develops a bit. Not majorly, they were strangers, they met through this case. But Leo starts to have feelings for Whitney and really kind of helps Whitney out when she's experiencing some trouble moments, some challenging moments, because she gets evicted from her apartment and then has nowhere to stay. And so I really liked Leo. I really liked him. He just seems so nice and so kind. But it also felt a little unbelievable that his actions right away with hardly knowing this woman. So it was like, I don't know. And then obviously his involvement in the case is now jeopardized because of a personal relationship. So somebody else gets assigned to the case, but he's personally invested in the case. So he stays in the know, but not as the primary person anymore. He's not officially assigned to the case, but because of a personal relationship with Whitney, he knows what's going on, right? And so then, is somebody really after Whitney? Because she can't tell if somebody's following her or not, and she's also dealing with a possible stalker, but is not for sure. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this book. I was very invested in what was going on with Whitney and kind of her personal life. But then it gets talking about cryptocurrency and with the FDIC and Chinese hack and stuff. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about here. I don't understand and I don't care. I just really liked the friendships between people. We've got Whitney and the lady that she works at the coffee shop with, Corinne, maybe? I'm trying to think. Whitney and Mrs. Harper, Whitney and Leo. I really liked the personal relationships. And trying to figure out, is Whitney safe? Is somebody after her? And can they stop them? But then, when it starts getting into all the other stuff, I was like, I don't understand. And then there was some decisions made that I'm like, I don't know about that. They put themselves in a compromising positions a couple times, and near the end, it was realize that, we need to change something so that we're not tempted, right? Yeah, so that bothered me. The cryptocurrency discussions, the FDIC discussions, kind of, I just wasn't really following. I suspected who might be involved. I didn't want them to be involved. I was like, really? I should be able to trust them, but I don't think we can. And yeah, so I'm giving it 3.5 stars because I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it, and I'm not going to reread it. So I'm going to pass it on. So Everywhere to Hide by Siri Mitchell. And let's go to the board. Okay, hopefully that's positioned so that you can see it. So here is my 26 and 26 board. I have 2 spots and they're both gonna complete a line. So which line will be completed first with this book? Well, let's find out. Number 12. It's gonna be the longer line. I feel like these 2 books should have been flipped because we've got suspense, 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 historical. And then we've got historical, 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 a dual timeline, suspense. Like, I feel like these 2 should have been flipped. I mean, it wasn't planned that way at all because Andrew randomly numbered these cards. But yeah, so now I have number 23. And I know obviously what book number 23 is now because I know what book I have not read out of my 26 and 26. Okay, so it completed this line, and a line completion means I get to buy a book. Now, what book am I gonna buy? I don't know for sure. I don't know. I think I really want Twilight Tactics by Lynette Eason. And I want Things That We Cannot See, Things That We Cannot Say. What's it called? It's by Amanda Cox. Things We Cannot Keep. I didn't even have the right word. Things We Cannot Keep by Amanda Cox. Those are 2 August releases that I have not read, that I really want to read. And Amanda Cox is the only book I have left to read her to zero. So that's kind of like the priority of the 2. But I really love Lynette Eason, so I really want that one as well. Yeah. I also really want a September release, but knowing that there's going to be another line, maybe the September release waits till that other line. We will see. So now that that book's read, the next book I'm going to move on to is Trail of Mountain Secrets by Darlene L. Turner. This is book 2 in the National Park Protectors series. You can read them out of order, but it's highly recommended that you read them in order because you meet characters you've met in the previous book, is my understanding. Yeah, this is the last book on my official August TBR, and it's a love-inspired suspense, just over 200 pages. So hopefully I'll get it done this weekend. We will see. I have continued to listen to The Day the World Came to Town, 9/11 Gander, Newfoundland by Jim DeFede. And I'm really enjoying this. I am now at 50. I haven't moved my bookmark. Where's my audio? I'm now at 60% because we are on Thursday, September the 13th. And I'm just at the beginning. But I've already read something from Thursday. The one thing I'm kind of struggling with a little bit is there's so many characters because it's following different people, like residents of Gander who, like air traffic controller, for example. We've got people that were on different flights, so coming from different places. We've got the pilots, flight attendant. Like, it's following a ton of different people, so you're getting a ton of different perspectives, different things. But we have parents whose son is a New York firefighter. We have a New York police officer. We have a couple that have just adopted a baby from Kazakhstan and is trying to make their way home. People are coming from different jobs, different roles in society, yeah. So I'm really enjoying it. It's really interesting to hear about how these people helped these people that were stranded, right? But I'm also very curious. This is kind of what we hear about, I think, because of the musical Come From Away, because what happened to the passengers that were diverted to other airports and stuck there when all the US airspace was closed? Like, I'd like to know kind of some of their experiences outside of like kind of the big story. So I don't know, I'll look and see if I can find more, maybe. Yeah, so that is what I am working on. These two will be my current reads. I haven't even started Trail of Mountain Secrets yet. But yeah, and this afternoon I'm going to work on editing a video. I'm going to work on updating some more book reviews. I want to start planning for kind of future video ideas, possible readathons or reading challenges, things like that for the future. I kind of want to get started because I have a few ideas working around in my head that I need to get down on paper somewhere. So that is the plan for this afternoon. It is a rainy day today. It's not currently raining right now, but we have a rain warning out, so it's kind of a dreary day, I guess. So we're gonna stay inside. Supper tonight is this Southwest chicken, orzo, and black bean skillet. It's pretty almost done. I just have to add the cheese, just letting the beans and the corn kind of warm up, and then add the cheese, and it will be ready to eat. Supper is served. Are you ready to eat?
You only see one plate, one bowl.
Because the other bowl has cheese on it.
Oh, you got stuff on it. Well, you can have that.
Well, it is now 8 o'clock on Sunday evening, and I'm finally checking in. I do not vlog well on the weekends at home. So last night after supper, we got talking about Andrew's space. He has a room where he has a lot of his car stuff, his interest. Kind of like I have my book space, he has a space for his stuff. And he has a lot of little dinky cars and bigger cars and stuff like that. And we got talking about how to rearrange it to make it like the most and display what he wants to display. And then today we pulled out some of the stuff in that room because we have boxes of stuff that he's inherited from his father. And so we were going through them and kind of what do we want to display what. So then we got talking about the room and looking at it, and we do have a plan going forward. I have like a little diagram drawn out of how to move things around, what we're going to keep, what we're going to get rid of. And so we're going to work on that in the next couple weeks. And maybe he will show you. I don't know if he will show you, like let me show you or not. But we will see, because it requires getting a couple items and getting rid of a couple items that are taking up space and not really being used. So we will see. But while we were going through some of the boxes, we came across this game, Shake a Word, where it's got dice with letters on it. And I was like, I wonder if I could use this to help me choose some books for a TBR at some point, or how could I make use of this? It does have rules. They're in there. I don't know how old this is. I mean, it looks pretty old, but we will see. So if you have some suggestions, I don't know what letters are all on the dice, because obviously there's 6 sides. I can see there's a Q. I can see that there's a Z, U, a bunch of U's, a V. So like, I don't know. Are some dice easier than other dice? I don't know. Why are they multicolor? I don't know. I haven't read the rules. So yeah, if you have some suggestions of how I can use these, let me know. And so I have not done a lot of reading. I did work on editing this vlog up to this point. So this evening I am going to redo my nails. I'm going to listen to my audiobook, I think is what I'm going to do while I do my nails, probably. And for my nails, so this is the one that I took off, the LA Colors Gel Polish. And I think I'm going to go with the SA Bright Pink SE. Bright pink, this is Mucha Mucha, and I will be sure to show you the color once it is on. I have been requested for that. And so for reading wise, for my physical read, I did start Trail of Mountain Secrets by Darlene L. Turner. I have made it to chapter 9, page 88. There's 207 pages in this, so I'm not quite halfway yet. So I will not finish this book tonight because I'm not going to be physically reading for a bit. We will see if I get any more read, but I will check in before I head to bed tonight to do a wrap up for the week and stuff. And as I was working on the vlog, I'm like, wow, I don't get very many B-roll clips. A lot of me are chatting. So yeah, sometimes I'm just more in a B-roll type mood and other times I'm not. And this week apparently was a not week, but we will see. We will keep that in the back of my mind and try to adjust that. So I'm going to go do my nails. I finished my nails. It's a nice bright pink that will bring joy this week in what's supposed to be a dreary week, I hope anyways. So this was the Mushi Mushi number 104 for the essay polish. SE polish? I don't know how to say that properly. But while I was doing my nails, I listened to The Day the World Came to Town and I finished it tonight. And I really enjoyed this story. Like, it's just inspiring to hear how the community of Gander came together and helped these stranded people. And it double, triple the size of the town with all the stranded people. I just really enjoyed that. And the way the businesses just donated, people gave up their own beds and their own comforts and brought strangers into their home to shower and stuff. And I just really liked it. Then we're following some of these passengers who are trying to figure out how to get home once kind of airspace starts opening up again and stuff. I really like this. I really like also that there was an epilogue in it that follows up. It's about a year after the events, I think. No. It is initially a year, but then later, because this is a reprint. So now we're following a number of years later, because this was reprinted in 2017, I want to say. A number of years later, and some of the friendships that were made during that time in Gander have continued, and the people from Gander have traveled to go visit the people that they took in their home. I really enjoyed that. I would love to see the musical Come From Away at some point. Kind of see it come live, the story come alive on stage would be really cool. I don't know if I ever will, but that's a, dream, right? So yeah, I highly encourage reading this book and I highly encourage getting the audio. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that is that one. So I'm going to end the vlog here for this week. It was a pretty good reading week. I feel like I said that weird. Reading week. And so on Monday, I finished Brighter Than Before by Courtney Walsh, which I gave 4.5 stars. I finished What I Left for You by Liz Tolsma on Wednesday, and I gave that 4 stars. And then on Friday, I finished Everywhere to Hide by Siri Mitchell, which I gave 3.5 stars. This was my only suspense for the week. But going into next week, I will continue Trail of Mountain Secrets by Darlene L. Turner, which is a suspense. And I will be starting on audio another suspense book, for sure. I have no doubt about that. But you'll have to stay tuned for next week's vlog to find out what audiobook I'm going to start. And my final thoughts on Trail of Mountain Secrets, because I'm not going to finish it tonight. I will finish it maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. We will see. So I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this vlog again this week. Or if this is your first time, welcome in. And sometimes my vlogs are very chatty like this, and sometimes I have more B-roll or life outside of the house. Thank you for taking the time, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.